She then asked, I asked her, actually, I was like, hey, would you like to go back to my Airbnb? Obviously, you know what was on my mind. And and she was pretty Latina, Afro Latina. She was like, yeah, show me where you live. I showed her where I live and everything, and
Hi, Sissy. Hello.
Wow, Auntie! 你回来了 I miss you so much, so much, very much.
真的吗？
你是不是不要我了？你北京的女人是不是很漂亮？北京的女人是不是比我好看？
我真的没遇到过那朋友，在北京。
可是你都不给我打电话。
我一直都在想你啊。
你被娶我脱轨了，他是不是被娶我脱轨了？他有没有带你们看其他的 girlfriend 的？
没有我，你可以问他们，我每天都在。
你只能有 only me, only me,
only you,
only me，
可以，只有你。
Pero I like this one though.
Ho, guess what? If your hoe looky took, and I hate your BBL, your doctor need his ass whooped. Nah, for real.
Get a Mexican woman that appreciates you.
It's a full-time job, and it's extremely time-consuming, and it's not as easy as it may appear to some people.
Man, it look like the guys out there in Japan are crushing it.
I love it. I love being with a black man.
Whenever people tell me dating someone in Colombia is a mistake.
Go f yourself. But go f yourself. Is that clear?
This right here is a man that went down to Colombia and met a beautiful Colombian woman. He actually started posting pictures online about her. And how you guys would think the most haters this guy would have is women in the comments. But I wasn't surprised to see that it was mostly the men that was hating in the comments. I mean, they torching bro in the comments, talking about the fact that he's down there dating a lady of the night. So he actually made a post explaining where he actually met her.
Everybody's been asking, what app? I did not use a dating app or anything like that. I used TikTok. It was this video that that popped up on my For You page. And then I just went to her Instagram and I sent an audio, because you gotta use an audio to catch the attention, guys. Listen up. And then from there, the whole spiel. Not gonna lay out any secrets.
And that's one of the secrets, guys, if you dating out of the country. Like, don't date women on the apps. We all know what's going to happen when you meet one of these ladies off the app.
Well, let me try to go on Tinder. Don't use Tinder, but let me try to go on Tinder.
You're most likely going to get drugged and robbed. But he did it the right way. He went and checked out her social media. Now, of course, women can put on some type of persona on social media. But when you see that she actually has a real ongoing following, you see that she's actually a college student, she work a normal job, she shares her life online, then yes, that's a green flag, not a red one. So you can kind of progress the relationship forward, get to know her on a real basis versus thinking something negative about her. Now, of course, just because she has a social media presence doesn't make her an angel. You still got to vet this woman and continue to get to know her regardless. If I was him, I wouldn't even respond to the haters anymore. But congratulations to this man and good luck to him.
Study from Cornell University says women aren't getting married because prospective husbands can't provide enough financial security. You really think about the lifestyle that you want to live when it comes down to vacations and how many kids you want to have. And I feel like ideally my husband needs to be making $650,000.
What % of the family income do you personally want to contribute?
Well, I guess I wouldn't be contributing financially. I don't want any of my income to be needed in the family. 300,000, like, I guess if they made less than that, I feel like we wouldn't have the lifestyle I wanted, so I would work.
Right.
$500,000? Is that bad?
Okay, but what do you think the median income is? $45,000.
Oh my God, really?
What's the most a guy gotta make to be with you?
To be with me?
Yeah.
I'm saying a good 100,000.
That's a year or monthly?
Monthly.
He got to make $100,000 a month to be with you?
Yes, you see me?
In this city, there are so many women that the men are forced to have 3 mistresses and don't work. Dongguan in China is known for 2 things. Firstly, its production of technological objects such as iPhones and iPads, and secondly, its reputation as the sex capital of China. As a result of the country's long-standing one-child policy, the male-female imbalance has become so great that it's not uncommon to see men with 1, 2, 3, or even 4 wives. And everyone thinks it's normal. On the other hand, contrary to what we hear here and there on TikTok, it's not a question of roommates or saving costs. In fact, since local companies prefer to hire women, whom they find more reliable than men, the women have a lot of money while the men have a lot of free time. On local TV, Ayi, an unemployed man, says that it's easier for him to find a woman than a job, and that he simply preferred to find a woman to pay his bills rather than a job. He also adds that over there, if you only have 1 wife, people laugh at you and find it inconceivable. Over there, it's normal to have several girlfriends. It's almost a social pressure. As for the women, they don't seem to be bothered by the situation because they say they prefer these arrangements to being alone. So, are you moving?
This lady right here, who is known for hating on passport bros on TikTok, says, POV, you randomly realize you're an OG result of this passport bro phenomenon.
What is this? What is this, please?
Stop trying to control everything.
So I guess her dad is black and her mom is Asian or whatever. But from the way she be talking about passport bros online, this is why passport men should not bring their women back to the States. Not only will your wife become Americanized, but apparently your kids too.
That's one thing that's happening in Colombia. There are other many things occurring in the country too. And a lot of the times we're seeing something happening where black men or men in general are being drugged by the drug called scopolamine. Here's a brother talking about what happened to him in the situation.
I apologize. Towards the end of the last day, probably 2 days before I had to leave, I kind of got a little lonely. So I was like, well, let me try to go on Tinder. Don't use Tinder, but let me try to go on Tinder. Find me a little nice chick, and before I leave, in the night with that, went on Tinder, found one. She wanted to meet up. We met at it's called La Commercial Plaza. It's like 30 minutes away from the Chippy Choppy Mall in the La Flora district. She stayed like 10 minutes away from there. Ended up waiting for her. She ended up coming. We used Google Translate, of course. We went to a bar. I don't remember the name, in the mall, in the Plaza Mall, right? So we're sitting down. We're using Google Translate. She's just telling me a little bit about her. She's complimenting me, of course. Eyes and, you're a genuine guy, nice and everything. Yada, yada, yada. Have a few drinks. Have a little bit more, few drinks. We get up, and she ends up taking me to another bar, and this is where it happened. We get to another bar, and when we sit down, and she orders El Jimador, I think that's what it's called. It's a white liquor. Start drinking, and at some point she told me to kiss her, and I think it was at that point when I did, she may have slipped something in my drink, or she could have had the bartender do it. I know they usually do that too. But at some point, that's when it happened. So when I took my second shot, I just didn't feel, I felt funny. She then asked, I asked her, actually, I was like, hey, would you like to go back to my Airbnb? Obviously, what was on my mind. And and she was pretty Latina, Afro Latina. She was like, yeah, show me where you live. I showed her where I live and everything, and I got up, and that's when I kind of didn't feel right. But I just chalked that up IP to me being drunk. Got up a little wobbly, she's helping me a little bit. I get in the car, which I thought was an Uber, but from what my friends were telling me, it probably wasn't an Uber. It was probably just somebody she knew, and got in the back of the car, and IP when I got in the back of the car, at that point, I don't know what happened. I don't know when I fell asleep. I just did. And when I woke up, I was outside my Airbnb on the ground, on the concrete outside my Airbnb, my phone and my wallet gone, which I just got a new phone yesterday. And on Monday, I'm working on getting all my credit cards back, but she has maxed my credit cards, which I've taken care of that also.
First off, this man better be very lucky that he only got dropped off in the front of his hotel or Airbnb, because a lot of men did not wake up, or they woke up in a coma. So good thing she gave him a small amount of whatever she gave him, and the guy pulled through.
So we're sitting down, we're using Google Translate. She's just telling me a little bit about her. She's complimenting me, of course. Eyes and, you're a genuine guy, nice and everything, yada, yada, yada.
Guys, this is something that's been going on in Colombia way before the passport men movement started. There are good and bad women wherever you go. Stop acting so thirsty and don't be naive. How can you show sympathy for someone that throws out all the basic lessons anyway? Don't trust strangers. You got to protect yourself at all costs. Good rule of thumb is to not go to countries where the women are most likely to drug you, even though you still got to be on your toes. But that's why me personally, I wouldn't even go to a lot of these South American countries. I would go to Asian countries where the women are not really notorious for doing this. And the last thing I would say is stop being so thirsty. If you got to go get boxed, dude, just go pick up one of the ladies of the night and you take her back to the room, 20, 30 minutes. You release all that pent up energy, just pay her and let her leave. Like if you got to get some box that bad, pay her and get it over with. A lot of these guys act like they ain't never been with no woman before or something.
3 tips to give you to get a girl in Bangkok. First, stop telling her that she looks so hot because it looks so sexual. Instead of saying that, you can tell her that I like your energy or compliment anything that she wears instead of her face or her body. Second one, you can show the conversation that really interested. You can ask her that, have you ever been to my country? Like this, and then we can have more conversation. Third, if the girl that you target and she really get dressed really good, you need to get dressed really good and go to talk to her. No need to be a brand, but look proper. Your hair, your shirt, your shoes, and your pants, everything need to look great. Share this to your friends if they're having a problem that getting the girl in Bangkok. If you have any question that you want to ask me more, drop me in the comment and I will pick one and come and answer you.
But anyways, that's all I got in this video. Definitely drop a comment down below. Let me know if you have any plans of traveling out of the country one day soon or one day in the future, and what countries are you looking to visit first. If you are still watching this video, I appreciate you for that. I will see you in the next one.